Okay, hey, this is Ann Sieg here, and we're going to have a really fun interview with a very special lady who won a very, very special award. And so I have with me here today Courtney Sullivan. Hey there, Courtney.
Hello, Anne. It's good to hear your voice.
Yes, likewise. And this is a really big deal because I
I
am now
know.
announcing, of course, not only to my own membership, the Daily Marketing Coach, but to my entire audience to let them know that I have a special award winner for our first ever established, it's an annual award, the Lorraine Moodie Total Funnel Immersion Scholarship, which is a really big deal. So congratulations for that.
Thank you so much. I'm extremely grateful. I'm very honored.
Awesome. Well, I want to give a little bit of background for people twofold. One, to explain what total funnel immersion is, also known as TFI,
Hmm.
and then more details about you and what it means for you personally. But so just to give a little background to our viewers is that total funnel immersion is my highest level mentorship program
Hmm.
within my daily marketing coach community. And this is
Hmm.
where there's more in-depth training. Probably one of the most important aspects is a daily check and adjust call Monday through Friday, which is very
Hmm.
awesome, either with myself, one of my 80/20 team members, my staff,
Yeah.
or then one of my certified trainers. So that's showing up every day, 30 minutes, and getting that kind of help and insight into our members' businesses. And then we also have workshops associated with this, which are very high level. People get to meet one on one, for example,
Hmm.
with my webmaster, my son and business partner Isaiah, who's an awesome marketer himself, Eric Walker, Coach Kurt, etc., etc. So it's really meant to help people work so that we can help them much more closely on their
Hmm.
businesses and marketing themselves online. And now, quickly about Lorraine Moodie is the fact that she was in our first beta group, and she was a wonderful, wonderful lady.
Hmm.
Created this really fun song and dance that she had choreographed, taught a whole number of gals
Yeah.
within the TFI group. And she passed away this year. And so this is in honor of Lorraine and her contributions into our community and especially into total funnel immersion. So, with that said, Courtney, I want to shine a spotlight on you because you have been truly a spectacular member of the Daily Marketing Coach community, and
Oh,
that's
thank
really what
you.
we're looking for. Yeah, absolutely. Well, why don't you share with folks? I mean, I know we've already done an interview that's already featured on my blog. This is the second one now. But what being a member of my community for DMC, Daily Marketing Coach, what that's meant for you, your business, your life in general.
Well, yeah, being a member of DMC has really been life-changing for me because I live very rurally out on this farm, and I'm also quite unusual in my niche. There are some people in agriculture who are doing things beyond just, the obvious of you raise a good product, you sell that product, you repeat, so there are some people, but it's quite a lonely path, and there's so many things to figure out. So I was determined to figure out how to create an income stream for our family that wasn't directly connected to how hard we had to physically work because
Mm.
the weather here in New York, for at least half the year is pretty grueling to deal with being outside in the elements. And it's just extremely hard work farming the way we farm. And so I really have a vision for creating more out of the story of our farm than just, our fresh produce that we bring to market. So I want to create, a legacy out of the story that, why we're here, the knowledge that we've gained when we're here. So I didn't really have a lot of allies in that. I think I was kind of a novelty to many people in the agricultural community, like, oh, that's nice. Courtney has, big
Mm.
dreams. But it wasn't until I came to the Daily Marketing Coach that I really saw the big picture, that I really understood that, my naivete of being a young entrepreneur and thinking, oh, I'll just put up a website and, tell my story and that will be it. And we'll do some social media and it'll start rolling. And, you and I both know that it's much more complex than that to really be successful. So I didn't really have a roadmap or a game plan. And I was encountering a lot of training that was exciting, that was great, that got you, engaged in buying people's products and being one of their customers, but it didn't really put it all together. And I was
Mm.
really lacking. So part of the reason why I'm such an enthusiastic member of DMC is just because it's like the keys to the kingdom for me. It finally was all laid out of just do this. And, you know, it's not as if it's just easy street when you're in DMC. I mean, work on any business owner's part is required, but just having that linear training that you can know what you have to give attention to, what you don't have to give attention to, has really changed my life because it's affected my mindset. You know, it's really affected my mindset, my attitude, just, you know, my dreams. It's had a huge impact on, you know, every area of my life, and it's had a positive impact carrying over into, you know, relationships that are offline. And it's just been a wonderful journey. And it's just like home for me now. Like, I can't really imagine not having that community. It's meant so much to have people that understand, because it's kind of an unusual learning curve building a business online. It's not, you know, people don't understand what you're going through or why you care so much or why you're so determined, you know, unless they're trying to do it too.
And right, and that's what we share in common, is that we're all sojourners, if you will, wanting to learn how to build our business online. So in the community that we've set up, you're linking arms with other people who are on that same path. It does require a lot of focus, like you said. Can you talk about the accomplishments that you've made thus far by having come into the Daily Marketing Coach community? What specifically in setting up your website, all those dynamics? Talk about the recent Instagram challenge that you were a big part of rolling out to our community, but just to showcase to people the progress that you have in fact made. Like you said, you're trying to create a legacy for your family that's above and beyond all this hard, physical, grueling work that you do. You're taking the legacy online. So talk about the very specific progress that you've made.
Well, it's interesting because it's, you know, it's linked to somebody else who has a similar story. What even brought social media and telling your story online to my attention was, you know, the author and personality that we all know on the internet, Gary Vaynerchuk, and just the power of telling your story and creating an audience and being able to do what, you know, your visions are in a new way, you know, because it was always very expensive to tell stories, and now social media has leveled the playing field. So when I first learned of Gary Vaynerchuk's work, that's kind of what ignited this whole learning curve for me. But it's been really cool. I mean, it happened almost as soon, I don't even think I was in DMC for more than 3 weeks, but one of your trainers did a training on Twitter. And I always really make a point to attend all your trainings that you offer in DMC and to go back in the archives and listen. You know, I'm a heavy listener to the archives. And so I listened to this Twitter training, and I had never been on Twitter before. I played around with it, and I wound up getting an interview with Gary Vaynerchuk, and specifically talking about farm marketing, telling the story of farms. So that was one of my big early DMC accomplishments. And that got me really going. You know, I thought, oh, wow, this is so good. You know, the energies just matched. And I thought, wow, this stuff really works. And so I just kept applying it. And with my own website, actually, I feel like, you know, I've had small gains where I tweak this or tweak that, and I'm slowly growing lists and different things. But it really put me in check of what I was doing wrong, which sometimes is more of a gift than, you know, figuring out what you're doing right, because it just enables you to really tweak that to then go farther than you would be if you were just eking along and getting okay results. You know, I feel like sometimes dissatisfaction can bring even more success because it makes you more hungry. So I've been, you know, steadily working on really figuring out what story I want to tell. What is my point of view? What is the voice I want to speak with? So that's been great. Lots of, you know, real shaping. I don't think I was a good writer, but I wasn't a good copywriter. I'm still very newbie, but I didn't really even understand all the pieces and how different it is when you're writing copy for, you know, for the online audiences. And so personally, it's been really satisfying to have, you know, to write really, from my standpoint, you know, blog posts that are well put together and that get response from people and that impact people and help them. So that's been a big gain for me. And I have 2 websites going on, so I'm always kind of experimenting, because I have one just for the farm, and then I have my personal side thing where I talk about wellness and natural family living, which is a big part of the story with the farm, but it seemed like too much to tell all in one website. So I do two separate things. And it's just been, to finally get, so when I first came to Daily Marketing Coach, I put all this time into putting a free offer together, but it wasn't it wasn't what people were really looking for. So I wasn't getting a lot of opt-ins. So I created a new free offer and have been really serving people. People are benefiting from the information I'm providing. I enjoy hearing from people and seeing them reference what I've written. And so that's been a really big accomplishment. I feel like I'm getting somewhere. And then in that interview with Gary Vaynerchuk, he told me specifically, you need to check out Instagram. You need to be on Pinterest. And at that point, I was so overwhelmed by just joining DMC. But I said, okay, I'm going to go on Instagram and I'm going to learn how to do this. I'm going to figure this out. And learning how to use Instagram, just, put up a picture, that's not difficult. But learning how to create engagement and people that want to hear from you, that, comment on your photos, that really are drawn into the story that you're telling in pictures, that's taken me a bit of time. And so I was able to share the journey with the DMC community, and we put together this Instagram training for the community where we, summarized basically my learning curve and the things that it took me a while to figure out and put together. And I was able to do my first big presentation like that with the slides and everything. I had never done something like that. And I have so much respect for all the work that you put into your presentations, because I put in at least 30 hours into that presentation.
That's about right.
If not more, because I was so, conscientious of wanting it to really go over well. And so that was a really formative experience. That was a huge accomplishment. And then it was just so enjoyable to go through the process with our community members and to watch them blossom and to really grasp how to tell their story in pictures and communicate in a different way, because it is a totally different medium. It's not like the other things that we do. So it's been a great journey. And now the scholarship, to me that feels just, like a big warm recognition of all the things that I've been doing. But I really have enjoyed so much, learning within what I always call it the online university that you set up, because that's really, to me, what it feels like. There really isn't loose ends. There's things that, folks and me personally may not be ready to implement with perfection necessarily, but it's all there. At least you can see where your shortcomings are. You can keep going back. You can ask for assistance. So just that educational process for me has been a huge accomplishment. I think really sticking with something. My life is kind of chaotic. So just having that grounding every day of, what am I doing in my business? What should I be doing? And just really being able to be more honest when you're assessing your progress and yourself, and because the benchmarks are always there. And so that, almost every month has just really seemed like a lot of gains and new learning and great networking opportunities. We have such a great community of go-givers. People have been very helpful. They email me different ideas about my business and the farm, and it's really sweet.
Two words you said there, your enjoyment and being grounded. You make an outstanding student. I'd like about 1,000 more. It's really the fact that you enjoy the learning process so much. And then I'm also intrigued when you said DMC helps keep you grounded because you're very busy. So what I want to do is for you to touch base on, you definitely don't have the luxury of all day just kind of going through your training and working on your online business. I want you to talk about your family background, and then I'd like you to tie it into the significance of this scholarship is that Lorraine passed away from lung cancer, and I had no idea what cancer and the impact it had on your family until we did our recent webinar. I had no idea of the significance of that. So again, twofold. One, your busy background as a mom of, I think it's 6 kids. You can help me with that.
Yeah, I do.
So that, your background, what you do as a family, and then segue into the significance of Lorraine and her cancer and know what it's meant for your family.
Sure. So I am a wife of a sustainable farmer, and we have 6 children. And so we live out in the country on this farm that he grows amazing produce on. He's always amazing me with how much he produces. But part of the reason why he's so driven to this, pretty grueling lifestyle, it's definitely not there. I think only 2% of the population are farmers, is because we were really touched by cancer in our lives. My husband lost his mother when he was 11 to breast cancer. And I was an only child, and so I didn't have a lot of cousins near me, but I did have an aunt that was young, on the youngerish side, and I was super close with her. And she passed away when my oldest daughter was about a year old. So she was diagnosed when I was 15. And so when I was 15, I got into healthy living. And I had my first job at a health food store and kind of cut my teeth in the whole alternative living. It was a possibility. Before that, I didn't really understand that there was a whole nother way of doing things. And so it made a big impact on me, because it wasn't information that I was really able to make an impact on my aunt's healing journey with. And ultimately she wound up passing away from bone cancer. And so many people, in America and around the world are touched by cancer, and it's a really huge issue. And while, there's not necessarily one thing that people can point to, but there's a lot of contributing factors. And so what we do here on the farm is that we're really just dedicated to growing pure food for people who want to have an option of, having a diet that doesn't have synthetic chemicals and pesticides and fertilizers added to it, to do whatever they feel like, is the right choice for their family, to kind of limit out, the different variables. We can't control everything, but diet and lifestyle play a big role. And so that's a huge reason why we do what we do on the farm. And as you can imagine, it's really, really busy. But what I love about DMC, and why I just feel so connected to the energy of the community and what everyone, it's almost like you can really feel what everyone brings. Is because it can go with you, it can be on the go. So I was here, on my little farm, and I remember being so touched when I saw Lorraine's performance at that Raw event, because I just thought, what a wonderful community. Like, this is so wonderful that not only that, you're not controlling of your events and you let people bring their light to your gatherings, and but that people love you that much, that you excite people and really awaken something within people, that they'd be that excited about your training platform and sing a whole song and choreography. I mean, it was so touching to me. So I'm just so honored by this whole connectivity of everything. And I'm really dedicating my time and doing my best to make the most of the opportunity, because I'm really, really grateful.
Well, I know on my end, I am very dedicated to helping you through what we offer through Total Funnel Immersion, the ability to take your message and your story out in the world in a much bigger way, because it's just that. I mean, you're literally a glowing light. You are a light, and we want to let your light shine. And if TFI can be a part of that vehicle to get your message out there in a bigger way, I am all for it, and I'm all behind you, and we are thrilled and delighted that you are our very first scholarship recipient. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm guessing you got lots ahead for your day yet with 6 children and
yes,
a sustainable
I do.
farm. So thanks again for your time, Courtney, and I so look forward to having you in TFI. We just got you in the group page this past week, which is super exciting. So I'll see you in the check and adjust calls too.
All right, I'm looking forward to it, Anne. Thank you so much.
Yep. All right. You have a good day, Courtney. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.